Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Tropic Wonder podcast, where no topic is taboo and we dig into a myriad of all the wonderfully weird facets of life from the very wonderfully weird South Florida, possibly one of the weirdest places on the planet. No topic is taboo, and if you have a subject you'd like for us to discuss on the show, please DM me on Instagram or leave a message in the comments for me and I will get that. And if you're new here, please subscribe and like. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell so we can hang out all the time. There are reasons for us to be friends. It's gonna be fun. So go do your thing, and we appreciate that as always. Today I'm gonna be discussing how I get gigs as a live performer. So this is gonna be more geared towards locally gigging musicians. I get asked all the time how I get gigs. And I love to answer questions like this. Believe me, there is nobody in the world, potentially, who believes in your dreams more than I do. And I want people to succeed. I want people to be able to have that sense of purpose and really expand their horizons. And whatever your dreams are, I believe in you and I really want those dreams to come true. I just think it's so weird when people come up to me while I'm working. So I'm happy to answer these kinds of questions when I'm not performing. And it's so strange because I get it all the time. I'll literally be in the middle of either singing live or playing piano or guitar or DJing, and people will always come up to me and ask me how I get gigs. So I'm gonna tell you today how I personally get gigs. And this is probably very different for everybody, but I can tell you what has worked for me so far. I actually had a friend ask me the other day, last week, and he said it was probably because I'm a woman, and he didn't mean it like that. He's very, very loving, wonderful human being, but it's like, it is mildly offensive and also not true. If it were because I was a woman, then this would be a female-dominated industry, and it's not. It's very much a male-dominated industry. Even in South Florida, you know, there's I think like 25 million people in Florida, and then where I live, toward the cities down in South Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, I only know a handful of female musicians. I think really what the key is here, there are two things I think we have to focus on, and it's first, being versatile, maybe three things. Second, knowing how to package and market yourself so it's approachable for people and they understand clearly and concisely what it is you do. And then also being able to read people. So you're gonna have to go into these situations where you're gonna have to essentially sell yourself, you're gonna have to market yourself, and you need to know what the person, what the gatekeeper who you're speaking to, you're gonna need to be able to read them. And so it does take quite a bit of intuition, which shouldn't be a problem for you as an artist if you're watching this. And this applies across the board. This is not just for artists. You know, when you're going into a job interview, you need to be able to read the person. I can't tell you how many friends who work in the corporate world, I have helped them rewrite their resumes and coached them when they're going in to give interviews, because you can know the business in and out, whatever your industry is, you can know the business in and out, but if you cannot read people, then you're not gonna be successful. So let's dive into it. So you're going in to approach a new place. Now, when I go in somewhere, I do not bring up that I'm a musician. First thing I do, I go in and I sit down at the bar, because the bartender tends to be the gatekeeper for a lot of these places. So whether it's a new hotel, I'm going to a resort, or a local restaurant, whatever the venue is, maybe even if I'm going into like a wedding venue or something like that, a banquet hall, it's always the same. So I'll just go in, if it's a restaurant or a hotel, and I'll sit at the bar and order dinner. I'll order a couple courses. I'll have a few cocktails. I'll sit back, I'll start talking to people. I'm always scanning the room, reading the room, who's in charge, who's the manager, scoping things out. I'm just casually talking to the bartender, really just having fun and just observing what's going on around me. Now, ultimately what ends up happening is, once I'm talking to the bartender, it's very casual, it's very flow, very vibey, and then they'll ask me what I do, and I tell them, oh yeah, I'm a musician, and I keep it super chill. Still not begging for a job, because we're not beggars. You don't have to beg. Just put it out there and the universe will catch you, I swear. So then they're like, oh, we do live music here. And I'm like, you don't say. And then they're like, hey, Sally or Ted, whoever the manager is or whatever, she's a musician. And I swear that's how I've gotten every gig. And I scout them because I love to eat. So I will find, look up like great places to eat and wine and dine around my area. And then I go in really just with the intention of having dinner. But if something else comes of it, then that's amazing. And that is how I've gotten every single gig I play at currently, because they have amazing food. I love the atmosphere. I fell in love with all of the staff, and it just so happened to be that, they were interested in hiring me for music. The last thing you want to do is go in and bother them, especially before dinner service. So if you've never been in the service industry, whenever a vendor comes in right before like 5 o'clock when they're about to start their pre-shift, this is where they go over the menu items for the night, selling points, anything like that, specials. If a vendor ever came in when I was working in restaurants, we would never speak to them again. We would I don't give a shit what your product is. I don't care if you have the cure for cancer. We don't want it. Get the hell out. So do not go in before dinner service. That is a huge faux pas, and they will hate you. They will not thank you for it. The best time to go in, I think, is right as dinner service is winding down. So 7 p.m. is like the heat of the night. Everybody's really tense. If you go in around 8:30, you're not inconveniencing the kitchen if you want to order food, but you're still in like a nice space that's after the zenith, after the pinnacle of the evening, the peak tension point. So things are starting to kind of wind down. Everybody's chilling out, they're not on high alert anymore. Dinner service is over. They've survived. They've made it through the trenches and the war zone, which anybody who works in the restaurant industry will tell you, dinner service often is a war zone. And then afterward, everybody's kind of like, yes, we made it through. We lived to tell the tale. We survived. So that is a great time to go in. Just chill, order drinks, relax, and talk to people. Oftentimes the bartender is going to be the gatekeeper. They have all the information. They're going to want to tell you who does the music booking, who the managers are, who to talk to. If you call and you talk to a hostess and they say, oh, I'll pass your info along to the manager, you're not getting the gig. Like, they will not do that. It's not going to happen, trust me. So try it out. Go in, super chill. I've gone into hotels that didn't even have live music at the time and just ordered dinner. I became friends with the manager and the bartender. And then they started fighting to have live music there. They pushed, and it wasn't until a year later that they ended up calling me and offering me a job there. So sometimes too, going into places that don't currently have live music and then just planting the seed, you never know what could happen down the road. Now, if you are waiting for a callback and they said that they would get back to you, understand that most people are so busy, and restaurant managers and GMs have so many things to work on. They have so many things on their checklist and to-do list, and they're juggling so many different things. The last thing you want to do is pester them or to become a nuisance to them. So what I do, I just go in, maybe a week later, at some point in the future, I go back in and I just show my face. I don't bring up the music. They will come up to you. Trust me, they will remember you. They will come up to you, and oftentimes they've come up to me and apologized for not calling me back or not getting to it, and then they'll tell you how busy they've been. This is typical. So you just can't take it personally, but go in, just be cheerful, show your face, smile, be charming. You have to prove to them that you're an entertainer. You have to prove to them that you are going to be able to entertain and keep a crowd there. So you really want to be able to let your personality shine. And a lot of times that's what this is. It's all just about being able to showcase your personality, whatever it is you're doing. Dress nice. Unless you are in an acid rock, punk rock, death metal band, please dress up. I don't understand. I'm old school, I'm old fashioned. Like, I put eyeliner on to go get a cup of coffee. Like, I just believe that you should always look your best. I don't understand this like rolling out of bed, disheveled hair, hot mess look. I just don't get it. I would never hire somebody that wasn't dressed up like in a suit for an interview. I always like, you want to look like you're clean. Like, I look like I floss my teeth every day because I do, because I have personal hygiene, because I respect and love and care for myself. And when you see people that respect, love, and care for their own body, odds are they respect, love, and care for other aspects of their life as well, like their career. They're gonna love and respect and value their time, therefore potentially respecting your time and your energy as well. How people take care of themselves, that is an indicator of how they will perform for your business. And if somebody can't even be bothered to get out of bed and shower, put deodorant on and comb their hair, odds are, this is just me, this is my observation. Like, I don't believe that you're gonna be on time. You'll probably call in sick. You look like you have a lot of excuses. You look like you might play the victim card. You just look like trouble, and I won't trust you. Like, I would never hire somebody that didn't dress up and look sharp and look the part. Even you can go so far as like, make sure your car is clean. Drive a nice car. It doesn't have to be expensive. I wash and wax my car once a week. It's always cleaned out. In case somebody walks me to my car is beautiful inside and out. And it's also gotta be organized because it's like a game of Tetris to fit all my equipment in there. But if a manager walks out to my car, they're going to see that I live my life on an organized level. I will show up and be prompt and organized and clean for you, right? Does that make sense? I used to know somebody who told me this story about this CEO who would walk people out to their cars after an interview. And if they had a dirty car, they did not get the job. Because if you live in a dirty, filthy car, odds are your home is filthy and dirty. Your mind is probably cluttered. You probably have a chaotic personality. I mean, all of these things, they correlate. So start with the basics. Make sure you brush and floss. Clip your fingernails, look good, okay? Basic hygiene, grooming. When I am going to get live gigs, I always play it cool. I let the other person speak a lot, depending on what personality type they have. I'm quiet a lot of the time, but I'm always listening. I'm always observing. I'm observing people's body language. If somebody's nervous, I can tell if they have a little bit of anxiety or if they're a little socially awkward. So I will literally calm my breath and just be taking deep breaths, smiling with the eyes. I make sure that my presence is very calm. If they have an awkward silence, I will fill it in with something very neutral to talk about, but something that's very comforting for them, or I can pick up on their social cues. Or if somebody really likes to brag about themselves, I'll make sure that I compliment their outfit, the room, a new menu item that they've added. If that's the personality type, then odds are they're going to really appreciate you commenting on the hard work that they've contributed to the restaurant or hotel or whatever it is, wherever you're going to get this gig. Even, again, it doesn't just apply for musicians. This goes across the board to any career field, I think. You have to be able to read people. So being able to give people what they need is crucial. They're kind of not just buying your skill, you're selling your personality. They're gonna have to work with you, so they have to like you at least. One more thing I always do when I'm going to get gigs, I stow my ego. I check my ego at the door. There's no room for ego in this business. I know a lot of people who are unwilling to play certain genres of music, or they get really offended when the restaurant manager asks you to turn the music down, or when a guest asks for something specific. Let me tell you something. I am a metalhead, okay, at heart. If it were up to me, I would play you 4 hours of Tool and call it a day. But I'm not there to make myself happy. I am being paid to perform a service for the guests there. So it doesn't matter what we like. It's about the guests, and it's about keeping them happy. So whatever they want me to play, I will play. You are there to perform for them. You're there to entertain the guests. And if you don't do a good job, if you're not able, if you have an ego attachment, if you're like, I won't play this, I'm above this, then you're not gonna last very long. So that's another way to make sure that you are always giving people what they want, and you will secure your job and your position. I'm a hard worker. I'm from Wisconsin. I don't call in sick. I don't believe in it. I will be here. I will bring integrity. I will bring honor. I'm able to really intuit what guests need. And if you have anything specific, I have no ego about any of this. So whatever you want me to do, I'm capable of it, and I learn fast. So I'm a quick study, and I will do my best to always perform well here. And that's it. That's like my closing sales pitch. It's pretty easy. And just with that, I've actually been able to talk myself into 2 different piano bars when I didn't even play piano. Like, the first one was in Wisconsin. It was a famous, it used to be the former Playboy Mansion in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, where I'm from, and it's now the Grand Geneva Resort. Beautiful, gorgeous resort hotel and ski hill and water park. And I was talking to the GM and convinced him to hire me at a piano martini bar. Literally, there had never been a guitarist there before, ever. And I had promised him that I would learn piano, and I did. And then same thing when I moved down here. I just skated into a beautiful piano bar down here, and I didn't play piano really well. And I promised that I would always just work to do better. And they believed in me and gave me a chance, and I've been there for 2 years now, and now I play piano. So, I mean, I'm not saying that you should go book gigs that you won't perform well at, but I always just believe in leveling with people, telling them the exact truth. I love all the people I work for and with, and that is a mantra that I say to myself all the time to manifest. I'm a huge, huge believer in whatever I think about will come to fruition, because it always has in the past. It's always worked for me. Where your attention goes, energy flows. So I always say to myself, I work for and with people I love and care about. Even and especially when it's not true at the time. I've had plenty of jobs that I couldn't stand the people that I worked with. I would go home in tears. I was miserable. I had anxiety. And I remember starting to say these things to myself then. I would say every positive thing I could think of. And guess what? I'm now living the dream life that I used to pray for. When I was miserable in a relationship, when I was in a toxic relationship, when I was in a toxic working environment, when I was sad shoveling snow every winter, I used to say to myself these mantras, and I used to pray for the life that I'm now living. It really is just because of this inner faith that I have in myself. And I want everybody to know that that is the secret, that is all I know. That's, you might do something different, but I'm just telling you that that is the life that I've lived. And this is, I just drink out of coconuts now every day. And I love my life, and I wake up blissfully happy. And I used to not. I used to have all kinds of stuff going on, anxiety, panic attacks when I was like in my teen years. I mean, crazy, crazy stuff. And just because I believe in myself, I pay attention, I believe in manifesting, and I put good out into the world. Oh, Saki always has to make a cameo in the videos. Every time there is Saki, Shakadoo, hi kitty. He's like Bigfoot walking through, just Bigfoot sighting. But I'm only telling you guys this because if I can do it, you can do it. I don't have a degree. Like I didn't have a handout. I don't have rich parents or a rich family. Like I've been broke more times than I can count. I've been broken more times than I can count. And every single time I've been able to come back stronger, wiser, I hope, a little bit better than I was previously. And this is all I know. It's worked for me, and I really hope that this helps you too. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. My goal with this podcast is to really connect with like-minded people and to encourage other people to really listen to that inner whisper that we all have. Because I know that when I've ignored mine in the past, it becomes like screaming. That's when my life had turned chaotic, was when I really ignored my inner voice. And I ignored my calling of being a musician for so long in life. I didn't start playing guitar till I was like 28 and 27, 28. And I never told anyone that I wanted to sing my whole life. I never told my friends. I never shared this dream with anybody because I didn't believe that it could be a reality. And here it is. And now I'm playing 9 shows a week right now. I'm making music videos. I just finished my first solo single album. My first single, Palm Tree Breeze, will be released shortly soon. The video is still in production. And yeah, like this is the life that I prayed for. So I want to see other people. I want other people to know that if you have a vision, you have to follow it. You can absolutely do it. In fact, it is your duty to discover your passion and then share it with the world. So I hope this helps. If I left anything out, please message me. And if you guys have any questions for me, leave them in the comments. And if you want to support the video, just give it like a little emoji, thumbs up or palm tree. And yeah, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. And we'll see you next time on another episode of the Tropic Wonder podcast. Cheers. Love you guys.